From the land of lakes, this is 10,000 Takes, brought to you by Minnesota Score Radio. Wally and Eric back for yet another week as we slice and dice the always busy, always topical, super saturated Twin Cities sports scene. So it's another episode of 10K Takes Television.
It is.
And, the NFL has kicked off.
It has.
And the Purple Nation is euphoric.
Yes, euphoric heading into a Monday night battle now with Philadelphia, which, by the way, will be on ABC along with being on ESPN.
It should be on ABC. The game between Denver and Seattle to kick off their Monday night schedule was also on ABC. And boy, it has way more cachet when it's on
over
free
the
television, basically.
Oh, I know it works for you particularly.
Well, that's the way it should be. That's the NFL model.
Yeah, well, and that's how they got where they are.
Exactly.
Actually, because their product, unlike Major League Baseball, unlike the NHL, NBA, is on, if you have a home team, you get their games, and you can watch them every week, basically, is what it comes down to. Remember they used to have blackouts?
Yes.
The NFL had blackouts. If you didn't have, 90% of the tickets sold by Wednesday of the week of, you couldn't get the game in your local
And
market.
the Minnesota Vikings would rely on General Mills to buy up tickets early in the week. Now, when I was living in the Los Angeles area, the Raiders or the Rams, when they played at the Coliseum, had to sell 90,000 tickets. There were a lot of blackouts.
Yes,
you had to drive to Bakersfield if you wanted to see the Raiders or Rams.
Well, and then there's Packer fans who lived in the Twin Cities market that were happy to see the Viking games get blacked out.
Oh, yeah.
Because then they get Packer games on free TV. So, no, you're right. I think the NFL should move that direction. Absolutely. Monday Night Football should be on ABC every week.
And why wouldn't ABC want that? Because if you look at the highest rated TV show now for 10 years, and it's still going to continue to be number one, and that's NBC's Sunday Night Football. That's a great primetime slot. But for some of our older viewers, they may remember a time when Monday Night Football was destination television on ABC, and that helped make the NFL what it is today.
Well, and now you have Joe Buck and Troy Aikman on Monday Night Football. So, you have familiar voices that have been on Fox for years. It should work, you would think, if they just moved it to ABC, but who are we?
Well, and they had, they got out of the gate with a bang with Russell Wilson going back to the Emerald City of Seattle and getting booed loudly by the 12s. Ooh. And I don't know about that. Come on. Took you to 2 Super Bowls. They won one. Bunch of playoff trips.
Old news, man. I'm thinking Packers. Listen to me. I'm thinking Vikings in Philadelphia. Vikings basically steamrolled the Packers. Speaking of the Packers, I mean, obviously the game was still within reach, but I never got the feeling during that game last Sunday that the Green Bay Packers were going to come back and win this game. I mean, the Viking defense did a really nice job of throttling the Green Bay offense and Aaron Rodgers. They had 4 sacks in the game?
They did. Zadarius Smith, in his Minnesota debut against his old team, I thought looked sensational. Had a huge stop on the goal line. Remember that 4th and goal where the Packers went for it and got snuffed? Right. Minnesota then went down and got a field goal. Harrison Smith had an interception. Aaron Rodgers put one on the ground. They had a fumble recovery. There were some key swing plays. Obviously, the goal line stop. Early on in a 7-0 ball game, Aaron Rodgers, airs it out, throws that home run ball to the rookie Christian Watson out of North Dakota State. He flat out drops it. If he catches it, it might be a 75-yard touchdown and a tie game, and it might be a whole different scenario. But to your point, I think the Vikings basically surgically won that football game, and the Packers looked sluggish.
Yeah, they did. Offensively and defensively, for that matter, too. I mean, how open was Justin Jefferson on the passes that he caught? I mean, my goodness, I think you would have caught those passes.
I would have caught him. I don't know if I would have got the yak he would have gotten. But it's ridiculous how Justin Jefferson can get into so much free space, as good as he is. I know you have to pay attention to Adam Thielen, and you got to worry about Dalvin Cook and Alexander Mattison in the backfield, and then this new tight end, Johnny Munt. But I'm telling you, if I'm the Philadelphia Eagles, I am going to extract Justin Jefferson from the game. I'm going to make the Vikings find another way to beat me, because the Kirk Cousins to Justin Jefferson tandem right now might be the number 1 duo in the NFL. I know there's some other good ones out there, but it's up there. Meanwhile, Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers is looking for a go-to guy.
Exactly.
Devontae Adams
his
is gone.
His guy's with the Raiders right now.
Yeah, 10 catches, 141 yards and a score, and that Raiders lost to the LA Chargers. So I think Aaron misses Devontae.
Yeah, I would agree with that. All right, you mentioned Kirk Cousins, and we know it's a Monday night game. When those lights shine bright, usually Kirk doesn't. Now, he has had an exception here and there. Monday night in Philadelphia. Are you betting on Kirk Cousins to continue what you saw last Sunday in Minneapolis?
Well, it's going to be a much different vibe, obviously. Outdoors, natural grass, incredibly hostile environment in America's booing capital. This game is on ABC.
Right.
In Philadelphia, ABC stands for America's booing capital. I once went to a game there at the old vet when it was on ABC,
right,
and they were holding up signs saying, "We are America's booing capital." You've been to games there. Those Philadelphia fans wake up angry and they go to bed angrier. So that's the hornet's nest that Kirk Cousins is going into. And the Eagles are 1-0. A lot of people are bullish on Philadelphia, but they did give up 35 in their win over Detroit,
right,
38-35. So hard to get a lot of reads on week one, but I think this should be a tough test for Minnesota.
Yeah, and as you said, going into Philadelphia is going to make it even more difficult. And if you're a Viking fan that plans to travel to Philadelphia, my suggestion is to not wear purple. I remember walking through that parking lot. Yeah. This was the NFC Championship game a few years ago. And, we were in the media, so we're dressed neutral, right? But I saw people wearing purple, man. They were not treated kindly, to say the least. So, Viking fans, if you're getting on a plane, don't do it. Don't wear purple. Wear it underneath your shirt or something, or wear it underneath your coat, but don't do it. It could be dangerous to your health.
You're right. That's like advice from the Surgeon General on not smoking or something. Don't do it. Because I remember standing on the sidelines, final Monday night game ever at the old Veterans Stadium. It was the day before Halloween. New York Giants, Philadelphia. Of course, the Giants and Eagles can't stand each other. The fan base had been liquored up from about 3 p.m. Then it was a 9 o'clock start Eastern.
And this is a Monday night game,
yes,
so they got all day to get ready for you.
and as I stood on the sidelines, I was on the Giants side. I was talking to a photographer from Philadelphia. He says, "Listen, if the Giants have the lead in the second half, go to the Eagles sideline." And I said, "Well, why?" He says, "Because the batteries and the pennies are going to come out of the stands. They're going to throw them at the Giants."
Oh, boy.
He wasn't kidding.
Oh, boy. That's not good. All right. Well, we need to talk some more Viking football, and we got a great guest coming up.
Yeah, Alexander Mattison will join us, Minnesota running back, right here on 10K Takes, your Monday night football ticket. Taxes don't have to be taxing, not with Keller Tax Service. For 20 years, Linda Keller has prepared taxes for all types of professions and businesses. She has perfected the virtual tax appointment through phone or video. With Keller Tax Service, you never leave home. Call KTS at 320-352-0013 or check out Keller Tax Service on Facebook. Take the anxiety out of taxing. Keller Tax Service, 320-352-0013 or check them out on Facebook.
I've been meaning to give you these for many years. I think they're perfect.
Maya?
Oh, I love your earring. Why didn't you try these?
It isn't just about vision, it's about care. Nobody cares for eyes more than Pearl.
10,000 takes, and we continue along. We're going to talk some more purple. Of course, the Vikings winners this past Sunday over Green Bay, the Monday night tilt against Philadelphia. And we are going to be joined now by Vikings running back Alexander Mattison, who not only enjoyed a Vikings victory over Green Bay this past Sunday, but also enjoyed the birth of his first child. Your daughter, I understand, was born a couple days before the game, so everybody's in town for that. Congratulations. How did the father thing go on day one anyway?
Oh, man. It was just, everything was just so beautiful. Just, it's crazy. You just never know what to expect until it happens. And I'm just super blessed, and it's amazing just having her here. And being able to just admire her, and it's just amazing.
Did you get any sleep? Is the question those first couple of days?
Yeah, I did. I was able to get some pretty good sleep. There was one night she was a little fussy, but other than that, she's been really nice to mom and dad lately at night.
So has this been maybe a pinnacle few days for you? The birth of your daughter Alea, then 2 days later, the Minnesota Vikings convincingly knock off your arch rival, the Green Bay Packers. I don't think you could script it much better, could you?
No, I don't think you can. I was blessed to have a very smooth and very, uh, I guess you would say, efficient couple of how long was it? I think we were in there about 16 hours of labor that weren't too rough or anything, and everything went well. And just blessed to be able to bring her home Saturday night right before the game, and wake up Sunday and go get a victory. And it was just everything. There's no way you can script that any better to have my blessing and then go out there on that field and be blessed to be out there with my brothers and go to war with them. And like you said, it was very convincing in that win. So we just got to keep stacking them days together.
And coach obviously gave you some. Did you need some time off in there? I mean, if the labor was however many hours you said it was, were you able to get a little time off so that they knew where you were and what was going on?
Yeah. It was actually, man. Everything works out. God makes everything work for a reason. Because it was a long 3 days of Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I was out in the hospital with her, and so it was kind of like uh, one of those things. I'm watching practice from my iPad, and I'm trying to stay locked in
Oh,
from
jeez.
far. So it all worked out though. So we went out there, and I felt good. Body felt good. Mentally, I was locked in, and everything worked out.
Your thoughts on your new head coach, Kevin O'Connell, and offensive coordinator, Wes Phillips? They seem to be very shrewd offensively. Would you agree?
Yeah, I mean, if you were to bring in any other coach, I don't know if they would be able to do the job that these two have done. Not only has KO done a great job as a leader for this team, um, and Wes on the offensive side, but both of them just bringing the energy. The whole coaching staff has brought an energy that is just, um, I don't think it's out there anywhere else. And maybe there are some teams that vibe like we do, but I just know that the way that we work and the way that we bond is special in that building. And big heads up for KO and West and what they bring to this offense. You see on full display, and there was a lot of yards and a lot of scores left out there on that field. So I'm super excited.
Christian Darrisaw mentioned to Eric and I on Sunday after the game, we asked him what he thought about this new offense, and he used the word dynamic. Would you agree with that, or how would you phrase it?
Yeah, dynamic is a beautiful word to use. I like to say explosive and efficient. Um, the combination of getting the job done and also adding in that wow factor. It's just all around a well-rounded offense, and yeah, it's very explosive and efficient.
All right, it was a huge win. You obviously have a lot to celebrate at home as well, but you do have to laser focus on Philadelphia. It's a Monday night game, prime time, national TV. They're 1-0. You're going to the Link. It's never easy to go to Philly and battle that team and their fans. So, what do you expect from the Eagles?
I expect hard-nosed physical football. I think there's going to be a one of those games, a prove it game on both ends. We're going into a prime time Monday night game, and we're both coming off of our first win of the season. And I think that it's going to add fuel to the fire when we get in there. And they have a lot of great players on their squad, and we have a lot of great players on ours. And I think we know what we're going into, and I hope they understand what they're getting themselves into as well.
The talk all week, certainly deservedly so, has been Justin Jefferson and what he was able to do against Green Bay Is this sustainable? I mean, it was a huge game, and we've seen glimpses of this, throughout his first season. But boy, I tell you, against Green Bay, he looked unstoppable.
Oh yeah. Oh man. I think that it is sustainable. I think that it's actually um, it's actually something I think can open up even more. He had a monster game, but I think there's even more out there, more yards, more scores for him in a single game that he can actually have. So it's a great way to kick off the season against rivals as well. But there's just so much that we understand as players that we left out there on the field. So it's only going to get better as we work every single day to get better.
Describe the running back room. I know you have a new running back coordinator in Curtis Modkin. So you have yourself, Dalvin Cook. You've got Kenny Nwangu and Ty Chandler and C.J. Ham, the fullback. What's that room like?
Oh man, it's a brotherhood in there. We push each other every single day to be better. We want to make sure that we give ourselves the opportunity out there every Sunday to be the legs of this football team. And so we work like that day in and day out. Coach Modkins and his leadership has helped this room and seeing things in a different light. It's always great to be able to go from having a specific type of coach and go into having a different type of coach. It kind of opens your eyes to a lot of different things, and he's opened our eyes to a lot of different things. And I think just Dalvin Cook's leadership, C.J. Ham's leadership in that running back room speaks for itself, as you can see. And we just try and be the best that we can be. And it'll speak for itself. We don't have to claim a title yet, but we know what we're capable of doing, and it's just looking up from here.
Do you think that Kevin O'Connell and Wes Phillips have done what needs to be done for Kirk Cousins? In other words, they've shaped some offensive concepts, ideas around what his strengths are, because it sure looked like he was really comfortable in what was really day one for him.
Yeah, I think they did a great job of not only making it comfortable for him, but the whole offense, the whole way of from the offensive line and their blocks and their combinations to the receivers' routes and timing, to Kirk Cousins' footwork and his timing and his reads, to our protection and our routes and our run game, and just overall, I think that everything is very complimentary, and it's just a great feeling to see our work over this off season and training camp pay off on Sunday. And I can't wait to get back to work tomorrow and get ready to go, and let's see what more we can unfold and what we can attack going into Monday night.
Well, hey, Alex, congratulations on your new daughter and the win over the Green Bay Packers. We'll see what happens Monday night.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
All right, Alexander. He is Alexander Mattison, Vikings running back, helped lead that charge against the Green Bay Packers and hopes to do more of the same against the Philadelphia Eagles on Monday night. Eric and I will be back with more here on 10,000 Takes right after this timeout. Stay with us.
I've been meaning to give you these for many years. I think they're perfect.
Maya?
Oh, I love your earrings. Why didn't you try these?
It isn't just about vision, it's about care. Nobody cares for eyes more than Pearl.
Taxes don't have to be taxing, not with Keller Tax Service. For 20 years, Linda Keller has prepared taxes for all types of professions and businesses. She has perfected the virtual tax appointment through phone or video. With Keller Tax Service, you never leave home. Call KTS at 320-352-0013 or check out Keller Tax Service on Facebook. Take the anxiety out of taxing. Keller Tax Service, 320-352-0013 or check them out on Facebook.
10,000 Takes rolls along. And as we get set for outdoor football Monday night with the Vikings at Philadelphia, got me to thinking about the indoor experience at U.S. Bank Stadium.
Oh, boy.
And I know you're a big fan of that. But Kevin O'Connell liked it. I mean, he came in his first real home game, aside from the preseason game. And, Viking fans blew the roof off that place again. Wow. You'd like that, to see the roof blown off that place. But, he thought that it was a huge factor in helping the Vikings beat the Packers.
Well, and let me put some context on that. Look where Kevin O'Connell grew up.
Right.
SoCal. Look where he came from, his last coaching stop, LA Rams, offensive coordinator under Sean McVay. The Rams fan base is blasé at best, even winning a Super Bowl. I'm not so sure there's a lot of passion there. So he's probably experiencing culture shock here in Minnesota. And then the hunger of the fan base, the Purple Nation. Right. You just sense it. These fanatics are desperate for the Minnesota Vikings to, A, beat the Green Bay Packers, which could end up being the pinnacle of this season.
Oh,
Who
boy.
knows? But they crave a Super Bowl win.
Yeah.
And so it is a good fan base because the purple sheep flock into this house of noise whenever they play a game there.
All right, so that is my point on all this, the house of noise. And I mean, my ears were bleeding by the end of the second quarter this past Sunday. I mean, it is so loud in there, and it's not the fans. I could live with the fan noise, but it's the artificial stuff that they pipe in, the music at a zillion decibels. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I know I'm the old guy saying, well, what's going on here? But I just think it's just over the top.
I couldn't agree more. There's nothing organic about that experience. It's the WWE disguised as the NFL. It's a plastic type setting. There's going to be noise in there, especially with a roof. The fans are loud, they're engaged, but they have to pipe up the speakers. Anything they put on the video board, whether it be a commercial or some sort of in-game promotion, they crank up that audio. Yeah. You really can't hear. One of my jobs is doing reports for CBS Radio on home games, and I have to wear headsets so I can hear them throw to me from New York City. It's unbelievable. It's deafening.
Well, and I was sitting in the front row of the press box. And that's worse.
Oh, I know. I've moved back.
I know. I saw you back up in the third row. At least you have like a little roof over your head there that craters you from some of that sound. But, I mean, it's just unbelievable. And, great. It's the advantage of the fans being engaged and being loud is wonderful. But do they really need to pipe in all that artificial stuff? I mean, I think it loses something when you do that.
I think you got there a little bit late Sunday because you were watching Guardians Twins over at trendy Target Field.
I'm sitting outside in a beautiful ballpark enjoying the weather, and then I come over and I had to go inside and get my ears blown out.
But you missed the phony snowflakes. The soap bubbles came down again. Would you stop that, Minnesota Vikings?
In September?
You don't want to be an outdoor team. You've made that proclamation by building another dome. Don't give us these phony snowflakes. That's the worst thing I've ever seen.
Yeah,
what a gimmick, along with those pivoting doors. My goodness.
Hey, they were open for a change.
Yeah, that's great for about 5% of the fans inside the building. Did you feel any breeze from where you were in the press box?
Just when you're talking.
Exactly. The hot air of my reports.
Exactly.
And it was hot.
All right. We've got one segment to go. Takes of the day coming up next here on 10,000 Takes. Stay with us.
I've been meaning to give you these for many years. I think they're perfect.
Maya?
Oh, I love your earring. Why didn't you try these?
It isn't just about vision, it's about care. Nobody cares for eyes more than Pearl.
Imagine a public golf course where beginners feel comfortable in learning and where experienced players can test their skills. Well, you don't have to imagine it. You can live it at the Royal Golf Club in Lake Elmo, an 18-hole championship caliber course designed by golfing legends Arnold Palmer and Annika Sorenstam, with 5 tee boxes, bent grass fairways, and generous landing areas, the Royal Golf Club is perfect for golfers of all experience levels. Golfing and Arnie's Restaurant are open to the public, so make your tee times today at RoyalClubMN.com. The Royal Golf Club, a one-of-a-kind golfing experience.
10K Takes on television, final segment of this week's show. Takes of the day. Mood meter plugged in. Is Wally a giddy guardian? Maybe he's a cranky Yankee, angry American. What is it today?
Well, we've avoided talking baseball the way through, so I thought I would shift the conversation and talk a little bit of baseball. As you know, Major League Baseball will be adding some more rules next year. A pitch clock, yeah. So the game without a clock now has a clock. You'll have 20 seconds to deliver a pitch when there are guys on base, and pitchers will have 15 seconds when the bases are empty. And then you can only throw over to first base twice, because then the third throw over there means if you don't pick them off, it's a balk. So the guy gets second base. Okay. How does that going to work? I mean, I just don't understand that. Do guys just take off then after you throw over there twice?
Ricky Henderson wants to come out of retirement. Steal some more bases.
I think I could steal bases if they can't throw over there. Well, maybe not. All right. The other rule, or one of the other rules they're going to change, no shifts. So guys like a Luis Arraez who have really benefited from this, because you can overshift on Luis Arraez and he'll hit it anywhere, right? Stephen Kwan from Cleveland. Those guys go the other way. I mean, they're able to move the ball around. So, but no shifts. What I think it does help. Now, I think that they should be allowed to shift, but what this does help is guys will be able to hit the way they normally will and not worry about hitting it over the fence. Because if you have 3-4 guys on one side of the field where you normally would pull the ball, you might be tempted to just try and hit it over the fence instead of trying to get a base hit. So I see that possibly could work. Not a fan of it entirely. I think you should be able to hit the other way. Rod Carew would have loved overshifting on him.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. And then larger bases, I guess I'm okay with that. We've had an orange base in Little League for years now. We're at first base. I guess they say it's for safety purposes, might increase stolen bases. I don't know. All I know is this. The owners portion of the competition committee, they were all in favor of all these. The players, there were 4 players, current players on that committee, they were all against these rules. They voted unanimously against the pitch clock and against the shifts. I think they could care less about the larger bases.
And the mood meter says you are a cranky Yankee.
About the usual.
Yeah, exactly. Throwing more shade on Major League Baseball.
Yes.
All right, well, I will try to lift us up.
Okay.
I will expound on the greatness of Justin Jefferson, the man they call J-Jets. He blew up against Green Bay, but really we're used to it, right?
Yeah.
And look at his career. He's played 2 years and 1 game in his 3rd season. Already, Wally, 205 receptions, 3,200 yards. That's 15.6 yards per catch, 19 touchdowns. He is on his way to becoming a legitimate superstar. And you look at this purple galaxy of receivers over the years, the guys who have been the studs, Chris Carter, Randy Moss, Sammy White, Ahmad Rashad, John Gilliam, Anthony Carter, Paul Flatley, Jake Reed, Stephon Diggs. Yeah. I think he's already in that conversation. And if he keeps going the way he's going, watch out.
Interesting you mentioned Diggs. He's the guy that J-Jets basically was traded for, right?
Yes, and the difference is because Stephon Diggs he's elite.
Right.
And Josh Allen, they have great synergy. I talked about tandems. Well, that's one of them too, Allen to Diggs. The difference is Stephon Diggs is on a team that's going to the playoffs and is thinking Super Bowl. Justin Jefferson hasn't made the playoffs yet, so that's the goal here for Minnesota. He's got to get in the postseason.
The other difference, Diggs didn't want to be here at the end, and at least for now, Jefferson does.
He does.
At least for now.
But hey, Stephon Diggs gave some props to the Minnesota State Fair.
I saw that.
He misses the great get-together.
Yeah. Oh, we miss him sometimes.
He was the miracle man.
Yes, he was.
Along with Case Keenum. All right. On that note, we'll FedEx out our thank yous. One to David Weld, Rocky, Alexander Mattison, for Wally. I'm Eric saying so long. This is 10K Takes, your sports ticket.